Hey, what's up? It's your main man, Queres.
It's your guy, Aaron.
It's your girl, Toshoama.
And you're tuning into
On the Couch.
Alright, yo, so y'all tuned into the very first episode of On the Couch, man. So basically, we came up with the name On the Couch because we're going to be having conversations about, everyday life things that you pretty much talk to your family and your friends on the couch.
So we're going to be talking about business, health, self-improvement, spirituality,
Right.
trending topics.
Definitely got to hit the trending topics, man. So
we got to keep it going on what's going on in the real world, man, and that's what we got going on. So.
Also, look, we do not claim to be professionals at any point on any of the subjects that we talk about. It's just for entertainment purposes and knowledge purposes, and we're going to share our experiences and the research that we've taken upon ourselves to do because we want to improve ourselves and improve our knowledge on everything. You get what I'm saying? The more knowledge you have, more powerful you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty much what it is, put it all together. So y'all help us, we help y'all. Y'all let us know what y'all want us to talk about in the future or what you got going on, and y'all share stories with us because we'll be sharing stories over this time we'll be doing this while we on the couch.
And if you want to contact us, hit us up on onthecouch@gmail.com.
Right, definitely. All right, so man, y'all, let's get into these trending topics, man. So Jussie Smollett, man, he had a little debacle back in January where he allegedly two people attacked him. They had MAGA hats. They put a noose around his neck, threw a substance on him, and we was outraged.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They was calling them racial slurs and homophobic slurs and stuff like that, and we went crazy. We was like, we gotta have justice, and everybody got behind him. And then come to find out that it was possible that he actually faked the whole thing. What is it?
Is it like he did it to himself?
They had all kind of receipts. They put video up of the two guys who actually bought things in order to pull off this thing on him.
Right. And they know him. They work together. I mean. That was kind of shocking to me, like, you know him.
And so now, fast forward to now, as about, I believe it was last week or this week or whatever that, they dropped the charges. Because he had got charged with like 16 felony counts of misconduct, and that's serious. But I guess for whatever influence he had, actually I did research and it said that he knew the actual prosecutor, Kim Fox, if I'm not mistaken. So some kind of way he got the charges dropped. It's basically said that she was elected into that job and she took that position so she could put the dangerous criminals away, and she felt like Jussie had done himself enough damage and the public basically gave it to him enough to where they won't waste their time and waste any more man hours
and resources.
Right, on the case. So, man, how y'all feel about that though? You know what I'm saying? What y'all think the purpose behind it was though? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I wondered about that. I don't know if it was for more popularity or clout or something like that.
I mean,
but since then, I know like he's been shunned from the NAACP awards. The cast at Empire kind of half and half. Some want him there, some don't.
Wow.
I think everybody's kind of divided.
I mean, how you feel about it? Like, what you?
Me personally, though, man, you love who you love, you do what you do.
Right,
you know what I mean? And I don't have no problem with that. But I personally, when I first heard the story, I kind of thought that probably him and his boyfriend or something like that into it, and I'm gonna show you. It's kind of like
so you think he was gonna blame his boyfriend?
It's kind of like the angry girlfriend to create a situation to where and like I said, I don't have no problem with that. I want him to do what he do, love, love who you love, you know what I mean? But it just seemed like the girlfriend who called the police and does it, and he nothing really went on, and she just I'm gonna show you, and that's what it just seemed like to me,
I would definitely want to know what the real reason was, like why.
So I mean, for me, like I saw like this. I can't remember exactly who said it, but it was kind of something similar to what you said. Dude was like, maybe the boyfriend had went out of town, and Jussie had went out like on a night out. You know what I'm saying? Got a little too loose, and then some marks and stuff was on his neck, so he couldn't really go tell his boyfriend, hey,
a dramatic story.
So he had to come up with something really elaborate, and then it just kind of spiraled out of hand. He had to keep going with it. He probably felt like, I'm an actor, I can pull this off.
Right.
But he got too big, you know what I'm saying?
Right, too big for him.
I don't know.
he couldn't build an empire on that story, right? A little play on words, y'all.
So, man, y'all tell us what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let us know in the comment section. Y'all let us know how y'all felt about it and what you think the real reason was. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on. You know, Cardi B.
Cardi
you know
B.
what I'm saying?
Cardi.
So Cardi B, she for whatever reason, they done pulled up this. What you said? It's like 3 years.
3 year ago. Video that was on Twitter.
Okay.
And she was basically saying that she would drug guys and rob them. And then also most recently, they have her on video saying she would have threesome with a guy and a transgender woman, and then would tell the guy after. Like she would trick him into having sex with a transgender woman.
Right. And I want to say this too, y'all. The internet is a crazy place, okay? And once it hits the internet, you can never pull it off. So she really didn't think. I'm pretty sure she wasn't thinking about the future. Well, maybe I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be a public figure, and I'm going to blow up. Yeah. And they pulled it off though. But that's crazy though, because I didn't know about the last part about the transgender thing.
And I actually just saw that one recently, like yesterday. And it's actually her, you know, so it's not like a rumor. It's her saying this stuff on video.
And about that too.
Cardi rough.
That's
okay.
Right. That's something tough. You see what I'm saying? That's a different situation though, because everybody ain't gonna accept what you give to them. Okay. Everybody's not gonna take it one way, because there's 1,000 ways to play the game. Because I want to understand this too though. You know, like I said, I have no problem against nobody, their sexual orientation or what they do, but I feel like if you're a transgender woman, hence that you start off a man, I feel like it's your obligation to let somebody know that's where you started off. And she doesn't have the right to, quote unquote, have a threesome with somebody just to rob them and do anything like that and decide she want to put in something, because see, now you crossing lines and stuff that I may not be able to feel like I can wash off hence.
Right.
I might feel like I can't come back from that, right?
Right. It's a psychological thing, man. That's wow. Yeah. So I mean, I guess this is kind of a developing thing. Honestly, you know, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. For one way, I want to be like, man, you know, whatever. Cardi did a thing. She is who she is now. Everybody got a past. Everybody had a story. But then on the same token, you gotta encompass the whole social environment right now, where we have men who kind of sort of did the same thing. You get what I'm saying? And they're getting roasted. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you know, how do you know, I don't know, man. Y'all let us know how y'all feel. Again, comment in the comment section and y'all let us know, you know what I'm saying, what y'all thinking, and if we should just let Cardi slide, or if it should be some kind of, you know, some kind of repercussions for it.
It should definitely, I mean, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
I think it's definitely wrong, but as far as repercussions,
unless
there are men out there that's willing to step forward and say, oh, this happened to me and I want to press charges or whatever, other than that, you can't really say that there's going to be repercussions. Sure. I think this is more so where her popularity is giant now. People are looking up to her, and somebody wants to say, hey, look at this. Right. This is what she used to be. So I think it's two different things. You can look up to her, I guess, as far as, okay, I was a stripper and now I climbed my way up to the top to be a famous rapper, you know, and I have a family, I have this. So you can, I guess, look up to her in that standpoint, but then, you know.
That's some rough stuff, you know, to set somebody up with a...
But, yeah, on the other side, that's just straight up, it's wrong. It's wrong. And I think somebody brought that up to say, hey, she's not as great as y'all thinking she is, you know. So I think it's like stuff that comes back to kind of haunt you.
She ain't never really let off like she was too perfect too though. Like she didn't.
She's always been real.
Yeah.
But when you have a following or somebody else is idolizing you and other people are, and I'm gonna say this, that maybe they're just jealous or something, and be like, hey, I'm gonna throw a little salt on that. Let me let y'all see like, you know, what she really is or something like that.
What you say, babe? What you say? Look, you got something to say, babe.
I'm saying it's wrong. I'm not saying that
it's
absolutely wrong, but I'm saying why is this coming up now type thing.
Right.
Like, what's the reasons? Where is this coming from? I think it has to do with that.
Right, and because she's become popularity, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the way that it can be, everybody want to say, well, why is this coming up now? Then I should feel like something that happened in the '60s and the '70s or the '90s or anything like that. It should be the same exact thing. No, we should. So in a sense, if we don't want to have double standards, it shouldn't be double standards. Period. There are, but we shouldn't have double standards.
Absolutely.
And I feel that we have to mute people. Certain people should be muted too. Rather or not, we have victims, because per se those other people didn't have, they didn't admit to it, but they had victims. She's
but
admitting
then you got
to
her
it.
on video saying,
She's admitting to it. So
you're right.
admission of a guilt is admission of a guilt.
Yeah.
Regardless if somebody
you are right, Binky.
whether somebody's accusing, it's fine. It's whether somebody's accusing you or I'm admitting to it. Admission of a guilt is admission of a guilt. So
True.
that's just how I look at it, though. But it is what it is. Though. I look at it from both ways. You know what I mean? It's 1,000 ways to play the game. She played the game how she knew.
It's a bunch of different ways to look at this one situation.
Right.
You just
Stop incriminating yourself on camera. That's all.
Period. And get how you get, little baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about? Trending?
No, I mean that's pretty much it right now. As far as trending topic that I can think of on top of my head.
Alright, cool.
And also too, y'all. We jumped from the Jussie Smollett thing.
Okay,
too.
go ahead to it.
Also back to it real quick. And now that they're saying that Trump wants to get, what I read that Trump wants to get the FBI to investigate it. Right, that's kind of a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Come on, guys.
So when I was examining too, now that you said something about it, he basically took on Trump support, the Trump administration, and the people who support President Trump, and he also took on people who have a problem, who have, I guess, who don't necessarily like people of ethnicity or just black people. I won't say it
In general.
And so he took on those groups. You get what I'm saying? Who pretty much are pretty much powerful people in at least the United States and the world. So you know. He basically started a war that he wasn't ready to fight. So now he got the president on his ass, and he got the mayor of Chicago want him to pay over $130,000 in restitution for falsifying an investigation and using up man hours and resources. So they own him now. So he in for a rough ride, man. So we're gonna stay tuned. We're gonna follow him. We're gonna keep y'all on.
We're gonna keep updates going on, okay?
Definitely.
Updates going on. If there's anything that y'all want us to touch on, as far as trending topics that happen after this episode on the couch, right? I want y'all to put it in the comment section. Y'all let us know what y'all want us to talk about.
Right.
We can look into it and see what's going on, and we'll have something put together for y'all per se, or email it to our email.
On the couch at gmail.com.
On the couch at gmail.com.
Right.
And right here in the bottom, that part right there.
Well, up top. Well, we got space and we'll put it in there.
And y'all let us know what y'all want us to talk about. And we can go from there, y'all. I'm interested in hearing what y'all got to say about Miss Cardi.
Both topics, yeah.
And Mr. Jussie. So,
I said y'all stay tuned, man. Next we gonna get into it. Boss Business with Aaron, man. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all
Boss Business.
Check out these sponsors though.
Alright, and we're back. Alright, this is part of the show we're gonna call. It's gonna be Boss Business with Aaron, okay? The reason why I named this segment of the show that belongs to me is Boss Business. It's because that's how I look at myself, okay? As far as creating something for myself or being able to go out and do something for myself, okay? It take bosses to do that, okay?
You a boss.
A boss.
Right.
You know what I mean? Boss of boss, king of kings, you know what I mean? And that's
And
pretty
queen.
much. And queen. Don't let me forget y'all queen, you know what I mean? You can't forget y'all queen, but you know what I'm saying? Ladies are bosses too, some of the biggest bosses. My mother, one of the biggest bosses, okay? She instilled to go get something, to create something, you understand what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what this part is about.
And so, everybody sitting up here right now is pretty much first generation. We're pretty much first generation entrepreneurs, you get what I'm saying? And like I said, we're far from being experts, but we do have experiences in a lot of the topics that we're going to talk about, and we're steadily, constantly researching and building our knowledge. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, this channel and this podcast is for us to all to grow together, so we can have on the couch conversation, share ideas and share practices and share what we've learned, and help each other grow. You get what I'm saying? So, like Aaron said, it's called Boss Business. It take a boss to run a business. What is a boss? Explain to them. What's your definition of a boss?
My definition of a boss is somebody who can take the punches for the whole team, who can think for ahead of people, and the people that follow them doesn't have to suffer from the blows. Okay, I'm gonna take the loss so everybody else will be able to keep doing what they're doing. Okay, somebody that's at the top that's willing to do what needs to be done that has to be done when everybody else is complaining. No room for complaining at all, period. That I'm going to get it done. Resilience. That's what I've learned. Resilience is the biggest thing to becoming successful, period, to me. Consistency and resilience. That just I believe in that. The ability to keep everything going no matter what. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. I'm resilient to anything. No problem. If this not gonna work, I'm gonna go this way. If that doesn't work, then I'm gonna go no matter what. That's my definition.
Okay. And for me, if I can just add to what Aaron is saying, I think the most important thing to being a boss or any leader is being able to lead others or lead others into doing the work, and you're just pretty much the thinker behind the tank, and then everyone else is kind of doing the work, and they're eager to do the work for you.
Right.
And so usually when you're leading people is listening to them, getting their ideas, like they're actually running your company. So you want to get their ideas, you want them to be happy to bring ideas to you, and we bring them to fruition together. So any great leader listens to their team.
Right.
Right, true. And y'all pretty much hit everything. I think what I would say about, as far as the piggyback off of what you guys said, a boss also, if I'm put in a position to be a supervisor, or actually what I'm working towards being the boss of my own company, basically I want to be sure that whatever I tell my employees and my managers, whatever I tell them to do, that I've done it myself and have experienced it through and through, to where I'm pretty much at a quite professional level. So when even when they have the questions that they don't understand something, they might be pretty good at it, but they can come to me and ask me, hey, well Queres, how to do this? You know what I'm saying? And since I've already done it and put my hands on it and actually been in the mud getting it myself, you get what I'm saying? And I'm pretty much qualified to do the job, and pretty much qualified. My word, it hold weight, you get what I'm saying? So that's my motto. I'm going to go and do it, and I'm going to really get in there and learn everything that I can about it. So when it comes time for me to step back from it, I'm able to direct everybody into their position and build them and groom them into better employees and better managers and better bosses. You get what I'm saying? So I can step back even further and go sip margaritas at Tahiti. That's what I want to do. So
or create even more. Because if you're stuck in the mud, it hinders you from growth.
Right.
So you want to learn all of that. You want to put your team in there working with you, so you can go off and create even more.
Right. And another thing too about being a boss, right? You don't have to let people know that I'm a boss.
Right.
No, stop. I'm a boss. You don't have to let anybody know that. You know what I'm saying? Your actions speak for that. Your character, your vibe. You know what I'm saying? That speaks. You know what I mean? When they look at your body of work and what you have done and what you're doing, that is speaking. That'll let you know if you're truly a boss. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna get it when they get there. Okay? This is episode 1. I just want y'all to get a feel for me. A feel for what's going on, and pretty much that's how I feel about it.
Before we wrap it up, though, before we wrap up boss business, I want to ask y'all. We've been working, in the work field. We're trying to transition out of that and become entrepreneurs and be on the other side of the table. So, I've had quite a few bosses. I ain't gonna say how many.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But or supervisors or whatever you want to call it. So, but I did learn every job that I've had. I've learned some things from working in the I guess the corporate, being in the work field. You get what I'm saying? As a worker, you understand what I'm saying? So, do y'all care to share I guess which job? You know what I'm saying? You don't got to say the job, but what did you learn? Which job? You just get that in your head. Did you have, I guess, the most learning experience or gain the most knowledge from? And let's start with that.
Right. You asking me or you asking?
Yeah, everybody.
Okay.
And y'all too. Y'all coming in the conversation. We like to hear from y'all too. So.
Right now, currently, I'm not going to say the name of the company that I work for, but currently, in essence, I work in finance. Despite how I look, despite my hair,
disclaimer.
That disclaimer. Despite how I look, despite anything like that, right? I work in finances,
right.
And that's what I do. I structure deals. I structure the way people money comes in, make sure that everything's affordable for them, and that's what I do on a day in and day out basis. Right. It was this job. Like my brother said, I've had a couple different jobs since I graduated high school, which was in 2010, Kendrick High School. All right. I had a couple jobs, but this was the job that opened my eyes that really got me to the point to where I really know that I really want to be an entrepreneur as far as furthering the entrepreneurial spirit in order to do something else, because of me dealing with different people. I'm a people person.
Definitely.
And I deal with people on a day in and day out basis. People that needs help with, as far as, like I said, I'm not going to say the company's name, but I deal with finances.
You done learn the machine behind it. Like,
the machine behind it.
I can do this myself.
And I can do it myself. and when it's on paper,
right.
Me by myself, and I've been at this job for going on 3 years as of this year, I've created maybe over $3.5 million worth of profit for this one company by myself.
Profit.
I can prove it. I mean, on paperwork, I can prove it, and you know what I mean. I can block out their name and stuff, but I can prove that I, Aaron,
we can do that.
Right, we can do that. But I, Aaron, have created $3 million worth of profit for somebody else that I could have done for myself. I would have put in the due diligence, effort, and time to do it myself, and I could have created it on my own.
Definitely.
But it was this job that opened my eyes to showing that I got to be able to leave something for my children. Our children, my children, his children, her children, their children collectively as a unit, our children,
family.
Our family, right? And that's what it's about. So, that's
about you, T.
For me, I was given my first management opportunity when I was 23 years old, so I was very, very young, and so that job actually opened my eyes to how I was as a worker, what you need to be in order to be a great leader. And in order to get that position, I pretty much learned everything I could about the job. So I learned everything about the job. So they were like, okay, she does a great job. We're going to give her this management position. So when I got in the management position, I'm still doing all that work.
Right.
And so you're not a good leader unless you're utilizing your team. And so by me still doing all of the work, I pretty much, by the time I had kids, I realized, okay, I can't keep up this level of productivity and have children and have a life. And so I kind of left that job with the mindset of, I don't want to be a manager anymore. But I had to take a step back and look at myself and say, okay, I wasn't being a good manager because I wasn't utilizing my team. I didn't look at them like maybe they were capable enough to pick up some of the slack. Like, so I even resolved that into me to say, okay, it was me. I had to take a step back and say I didn't put more responsibility on everybody else. So that's what that taught me.
Okay. I mean, I guess I had quite a few jobs, you get what I'm saying? Because I just felt like, you know, it really, working for somebody else has never been really my idea of what life should be about, you get what I'm saying? So I'll be honest with you, I done left some jobs crazy. I might be sitting and chilling and kicking it. We ain't gonna get into that right now. We'll talk about that later. You know, that's a story for later. But you know,
we both got a couple of them.
I think actually, literally, the last job I had before the current job that I have right now, it's a fast food restaurant. I'm not gonna name them, you know, unless y'all want to sponsor some episodes. But anyway, and what I learned, I came to learn the importance of having standard operating procedures. Y'all might know that as SOPs. I learned delegating. I learned literally, that's kind of where I learned the fact that you need to train the people around you to be the best that they can be, so that you could be, you know, you won't have to constantly correct and maneuver and spread yourself thin. You know, you can step back and keep the team in place, and also learn the importance of marketing and branding. Like, they were magnificent at their marketing and their branding, and the training was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's a fast food restaurant, but I promise you, they serious about it. Like, they literally had a position for a trainer in the store, and like everywhere you look, it was always some place card to show you how to make whatever you making, and literally down to actually running the computer. So they basically had it for to where a person off the street, you come in there and keep them in there for about a week, they in there rocking and rolling. You get what I'm saying? And I thought that was excellent. And I have been kind of utilizing that knowledge ever since. You know what I'm saying? Learn as much as I can so that I can teach the people behind me, so that I can build a great team. You get what I'm saying? And then I have a strong team, build a strong company. You get what I'm saying? Strong leadership, strong management. You get what I'm saying? Right. Then I can step all the way back.
Right.
And go to Tahiti and drink this margarita.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about the company. Right? You know what I'm talking about? So
it burning to the ground when you're away, right?
Hey, man, you know, I'm coming back if you burn my company.
Right. And one last thing I would like to, did you have anything you want to add?
No, I think, well, I do want to say, when we were talking about leaving jobs crazy, I think that it's good for everyone to make sure. What?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, always leave a place in the right way.
Yeah,
I know we've all done, I've never left a job. But
all right,
it's always good to put in your 2-week notice, and leave. Don't leave a bridge. Don't burn a bridge out.
Don't burn a bridge.
Right. We got 2 different philosophies about that. She don't want you to burn no bridge. I'm personally, if I'm leaving your job, I'm gonna burn the bridge because I'm not coming back.
Put the C4 on that thing.
I'm gonna blow it all the way on up. Okay, I'm not coming back.
So listen, not that you're coming back, but say like this a company that probably want to sponsor something, that you're doing. They want to get, not that you need them, but just.
We need all the sponsors. I need all the sponsors like that.
Yeah, I'm saying. So if you left it correctly, they'd be like, oh, look at them. Since they done left this job here, they done done such a great job. We want to give some money to your cause.
Right, and okay.
You never know, so just put your 2-week notice in.
Put your 2-week notice in, like T said. Put them 2-week notices in, and y'all let them know that's what's going on, okay? But as we wind down as far as boss business, that's just a little bit about what's going on. This too, or I just want to splash. I'm all over the place, but this is, like I said, it's the first episode. I'm excited about this. It's something that we want to do for a while. I was excited about business, you know what I'm saying? And this too, then while I'm already on, okay. Always do good business and you'll have business. Period. No matter. Always do good business and you'll always have business. No matter what. No matter what. Pretty much that's all I got, guys. Anything else that y'all want to add to?
No.
That's it, man. After these sponsors, this next segment, we're gonna get into spirituality, self-improvement.
Self-improvement, spirituality with Miss T.
Yeah.
So y'all stay tuned.
Do I, baby? Yeah. I remember the first time I said I loved you. Yeah. And I remember the promise we made when we said we'd never love another. Now we don't even speak. I ain't heard your ways. Who you got a place to me? And are you being the freak?
Hi guys, we're back with Level Up with Toshoama. During this portion of the podcast, we're going to talk about various topics, and based on our experiences, we'll talk about mental health, spiritual awakenings. We'll talk about, we'll give quotes, whether it's a quote of my own or a quote I pull from somewhere, and just give, my view of what the quote means, and then I'll ask the fellas to give me a little help on that. I want to go the mental health route. Today I want to talk about postpartum. Postpartum depression, I know. So I'm gonna see what you guys, from y'all perspective, after I give my synopsis, but just to see, like, from y'all's experience, how did y'all have to deal with postpartum, maybe from your partners. And so postpartum, I want to give the definition of it. So it's a mood disorder that can affect women after childbirth. Mothers with postpartum depression experience feelings of extreme sadness, anxiety, and exhaustion that may make it difficult for them to complete daily activities for themselves and others. So my experience with postpartum, I had twins. I had twins, and after having the twins, I just remember having feelings of, and I couldn't even articulate the feelings when I was having them, so I didn't even tell my husband or anybody about it, but I felt like, oh my God, all is lost, my life is over. I felt like hopelessness. My world is crashing down around me. I didn't cry at all during my pregnancy or even during the childbirth part. But I was feeding Caleb, my son. I was feeding him one day and he wouldn't take the bottle, and I just boo-hoo cried like for the longest time. So, but it went away probably 2 months later, and then I see a commercial on TV that says postpartum. It gives all the symptoms of it, and I was like, oh my God, I have that. And then that's when I started telling people. I called my mom and told her about it. I told Queres about it, and they're all like, hey, why you didn't say anything? But it was like I had no idea. Like, me and my doctors didn't talk about it. I had a midwife and a doctor, and it was just not something that was brought up to me. So I just kind of want to put that out there as far as that's my experience. And just thinking back on it, stuff that helped me, I read tons of books, so I think it's important to have mental stimulation. If it, extends after your 6-week checkup, like I probably would have added working out, because I think with depression, you need to stimulate yourself mentally. You need to get up and, move your body also. But I just wanted to get, like, from the fella's perspective, how did you guys, deal with it on your end?
Okay. Well, I guess. Aaron,
Like,
you wanna go,
did you have a partner? Did your partner, have postpartum? Did you notice any mood swings, or that she felt any kind of way?
I know since this is directly, I guess, something we dealt with, but like I didn't necessarily, I guess I didn't know. You get what I'm saying? I assumed that everything was A-okay. You get what I'm saying? And I probably felt like, a lot of the times in those situations, the men probably just feel like, okay, well, man, we both stressed or whatever, but, sometimes, a mother may we may seem like she has an attitude, or may seem that she's being real snappy, or may seem not herself. And as us as men, we take that as like,
attitudinal.
Right. We feel like, oh man, she got an attitude.
That's my new word.
And so since she got an attitude, then I'm gonna let my ego run the show, and we gonna respond in kind, which is not the right thing to do. You get what I'm saying? So, like, for me, I felt like, I mean, honestly, I didn't know, and it probably was a situation where I thought it was being mean. You get what I'm saying? And not even being sensitive to the fact that she might be going through some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Something that is beyond the normal, outside of the normal range of her personality. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like, us as men, during those sensitive times after childbirth, during childbirth, we need to be more receptive of our partners. You get what I'm saying? Because they could very well be dealing with postpartum. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my 2 cents on it. You know what I mean?
All right. As far as me, as far as postpartum depression, me having to deal with it directly, I really wouldn't even know if I did or I didn't deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Was it an experience where you felt this is something that you
and that brings me.
We don't be knowing.
Exactly. So that brings me
know.
definitely to my next point is, again, I didn't even know to communicate it, I guess, but I would think, as advice for someone, and again, the disclaimer, we're not medical professionals or anything like that. Listen to your doctor. I say definitely, if you have these feelings, talk to your doctor about it, because I didn't even speak to anyone about it. But making sure you communicate. So you, as the person, the mother who has these feelings, you need to communicate to your partner, hey, this is what I'm feeling like. Kind of, if he doesn't know what postpartum is, explain to him what that is. You guys kind of research it together. And then I would say, just from a woman's perspective, help her out, I guess, with it, as far as see what she needs. She needs to stimulate herself mentally and physically, maybe take the baby and give her the opportunity to do that. And then also with women, we want you to give us the opportunity for us to help ourselves, but also we need to know that you're supporting us. So give her that support, show her, that you love her and stuff like that, and then just give her that opportunity to care for herself.
Definitely. I got a question. Mental health, a lot of times people, I guess in our culture, definitely, we have a denial type of thing going on, or not necessarily to say denial, but it may be self-denial and lack of knowledge. Like, basically, my point is that should it be a point that don't deny it within yourself, so that you can get it out, and then it'll be more of a...
Absolutely. That's the first step, is to recognize that there's an issue. Recognize that, hey, I'm feeling this way and I don't normally feel this way. Right. And let me talk to somebody. Don't, I guess, internalize it. Get you some help. So make sure the communication piece is very important, because I'm going to say that and even just looking at the commercial and remembering the feelings, how I viewed my children when I had it and then how I viewed them after it went away was completely different.
Right.
I'm at home, I'm caring for my children. They're crying, I'm feeding them, I'm bathing them, I'm changing them, but it was like, these are mine. They're my task. I'm taking care of these kids. But
Right.
they're tasks instead of after it went away,
My baby.
these are pieces of me
My children, right.
sitting here going out into the world and
Right.
stuff like that. So
Right.
it's just, that's a scary thing to even say, hey, this is how you view your children when you, like in a detached sense, instead of knowing that, hey, this is how you should feel about your children, at a certain period. So it's just more so me wanting to give my story, and maybe that can help others in their situations. Also get the male perspective of, you have no idea because,
Didn't know.
Right.
maybe it wasn't communicated to them, and then maybe that partner didn't even know, had no idea. And then, so maybe that should be like a conversation if you're pregnant now, to talk to your doctor about, hey, what if I have this, or can you give me more information as a professional on what postpartum is, just in case I have those feelings after I have a child.
You definitely want to do that. You definitely want to make sure you get some mental help about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You keep it bottled up so long inside, and then you develop
Right.
that little voice inside your head. Then you have problems in here that translate the problem that side. So you want to make sure you get that help, man. No matter what, if you're not feeling right, especially mentally, and you got little ones counting on you, and you gotta, you know what I mean? You want to make sure you take care of that part. But as far as postpartum depression, I personally may have went through it, but it wasn't communicated to me, and I wouldn't know how to pick up on it.
So basically, so you say the first is don't make sure that you're in tune with yourself, and don't deny it, and then once you figure out what's going on, to make sure that you communicate it
self-awareness
to your partner. So,
right. And just for everybody to know, as far as mental health in any capacity, has nothing to do with your strength as a person.
Right.
Because I can say for myself, I'm a very, very strong person. So I just know that.
You gave birth to 2 babies.
Right. And I'm talking for the miracles out here. So you just giving your body that time, you giving yourself that time to take care of yourself and get yourself back is very important.
Right. Definitely.
All right. Anything else on postpartum, guys?
No, nothing on postpartum, man.
Alright.
I wonder though, like if we have any medical professionals that's viewing this podcast right now, or anybody who does work or is studying mental health.
Right.
Do men suffer from postpartum also? We don't know. We're not trying to take nothing from women, because y'all definitely have a great and big task at having children. You get what I'm saying? Period. You get what I'm saying? But that's just a legitimate question. I don't think that I've experienced anything. You know what I'm saying? And I just wish that I could have been more receptive, so I could have helped out during that situation.
Right.
But now that I know, what I'm saying, we know that communication and just make sure that y'all talk. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And to tag along, to piggyback off pretty much what Queres just said, is also too is, do men suffer some type of postpartum depression syndrome that's not called postpartum depression? It's something that's totally different. You know what I mean? Even though we don't like she said, they feel like, oh, well, my life is over. My body is no longer mine. I don't have any spare time. Do men really go through that? Like, oh man, I just had a kid, man, I can't do nothing. You know what I mean? If you study something like that and you're like a professional, or even if not a professional, you feel like they do. You know what I I mean?
Yeah, just comment in the comment section. Let us know about y'all experiences. We definitely want to hear from the women and want to hear from the men. Just start that conversation and get that dialogue going, so we can have more information out there. You get what I'm saying? This is community.
Get it done.
We're a family, so this is what we're here for. You dig what I'm saying? So
right. So moving on, I want to give a quote.
Okay.
And so this one is one of my own, and so I'll just kind of
original.
give what I'll say. The breakdown of it is, and then I ask the fellas, what they think. So the quote of the day is: "Master the act of viewing love in any experience as your teacher." So, and for me, that means in any experience that you've had throughout life with love, you know, what has it taught you? And you can start from your parents, the love you received from your parents, how you loved your parents, move into, you know, romantic relationships, to just best friendships. Just looking at all of those experiences, if they're still in your life, if not, what did that relationship teach you? How did it affect you moving forward from it or while you're in it? So I'll say for me, I want to give, like, I guess, my experience with love and how it, I guess, affected me. And then I ask you guys to do the same. So,
as far as like, you mean as far as like love, as far as like the love that we receive from either parents or relationships?
Yeah, and any experience, what experience have you had and it taught you something? For me, I'll say definitely just on all spectrums with love, just make sure that, I guess, you're feeding yourself. So once you get into a relationship, you know, with your partner, y'all have children, you know, and then you have friends, you work. And if you have a giving personality and you're giving to all these different areas, your children, your top priority, your husband, your top priority, work, you know, your family, your friends, make sure that you're doing things to feed you, to make sure that you're remaining who you are at the end of the day. Do things to feed you. So I had to learn that myself, to make sure I'm feeding Toshoama, to make sure she remains myself at my core.
So like, don't get lost.
So
yeah,
that,
don't get
you
lost
know,
in the side.
all these people around that, and then you gotta fill your tank so you can continue to give into all these different areas. So just make sure you set boundaries for yourself so that you can recharge, whatever that is that you need to do. Make sure you're feeding you so that you can remain yourself and still be able to function to give everybody without feeling depleted.
Right. So you said master the act of
viewing love
as your teacher. Okay, that's dope.
It definitely is.
I mean, as far as what, you know, over the years, you know, I guess after the multiple conversations we done had, you get what I'm saying? I think the most important thing that I've learned is basically, to piggyback off of you, is self-love. Because, you know, to be honest, you get what I'm saying? Like, how I grew up, you know, and how most male figures grow up, we're taught to not be soft, or not to have any emotions, or that if you have emotions, then you're seen supposedly weak in societal standards. But what that actually does to you, it turns you into you don't know how to deal with emotional situations. You get what I'm saying? So you don't, by you not loving yourself, you don't know how to even express love to anybody else around you properly. You get what I'm saying? You show them anger instead of love. You show them resentment as opposed to showing them empathy or sympathy. You get what I'm saying? So the most important thing out of that, like you said, first is to learn what love is, then learning to love yourself.
Right.
Then once you have once you have gained the knowledge of that, then you should definitely learn to master the act of viewing love as your teacher in all situations. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I take from that.
As far as like learning, so what, mastering the act of love,
viewing love as your teacher.
I'm the youngest of my mother's and my father's children. Okay, it's me and my older brother, which is Mr. Queres. Right? I'm the baby, so me and my mother is extremely close. My mother loved on me every day, every single day. She just, I love you. She hugged me, everything. So I learned that. So the one thing I never learned how to learn, and the one thing I never learned how to do, was learn how to love myself. From a little bitty kid, that's one thing that my mother has put into me. So that's pretty much just something that is. I look at that when I learned from my mom. Is that part of my first, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
first
absolutely.
love.
My first love, and first learning how to love and knowing that, you know what I'm saying, her love and her, the true love of that. So I look for that. In all essence, I look for that love that my mom showed me to represent from when I'm seeking love. Does that kind of make sense? Not as far as I need my mom, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
But
it does.
You know what I mean? I want that same love reciprocated from my mom. So I know my mama love me. I want to. Can you love me? I know
Right,
she does.
and that makes complete sense,
Okay.
Aaron. To that, from the beginning, your parents show you kind of what love is, and that's how you go out into the world and display it to others.
Right.
But do you guys have anything
I
else?
think that's it.
That's pretty
wind
much
it down
it.
on time.
That's
so.
it,
All right.
bro.
All right, so we're wrapping up this segment. If you guys want to elaborate on the quote of the day, which is to master viewing love in any experience as your teacher, hit us up in the comments, contact us at onthecouch@gmail.com, and we appreciate you listening.
Alright, y'all, we're back, and this is the Health Minute with Queres. You get what I'm saying? So this segment, we're gonna talk about pretty much anything dealing with health. From diet, exercise plans, foods to eat. Our health practices and stuff like that. And of course, like we said, we're not professionals, but we're gonna give y'all our experience and share our knowledge that we learn as we do our research. What you gotta say?
Pretty much, man. Just health as well. So. It's about learning your body, learning what you take, what you can intake to make it better. Pretty much, how food is changing.
Right.
The way things taste and the stuff they starting to pump into food and stuff like that.
Definitely.
As far as goes from water to pretty much just anything that you put inside your body, you want to be conscious of what you put inside your body to get the best output. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
In addition to that, we'll probably talk about exercise regimens also. It's a very, very important part of, health. So we'll probably be working on that as well.
Definitely, man. Right now, I'm hungry right now. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna try to over a period of time. We're gonna try different diet plans, different exercise regimens, and we're gonna grow together. You get what I'm saying? Try to get to a state of better eating and better health practices. You get what I'm saying? Because I know for certain that I live to eat and not eat to live. You get what I'm saying? So,
I agree with that.
Real quick, and give a quick statistic. You get what I'm saying? So basically, doing research, found that the leading cause of death in the United States is cardiovascular disease. Basically, diseases dealing with the blood vessels and the heart. In 2016, it was over, 850,000 deaths were caused by cardiovascular disease. I can't say it. Cardiovascular disease.
Cardiovascular diseases.
Right.
And that's a lot of people for one thing, to affect a lot of people like that, man. And I'm pretty sure some of that stuff could have been avoided. That could have been avoided by making better decisions early on, set on in those people's lives.
Right. And a quick definition for cardiovascular disease: cardiovascular disease is basically it includes man, I got these big hard words, bro. Heart attack, stroke, and congenital heart disease, amongst other things. Heart attack. The word for heart attack is myocardial infarction.
Myocardial infarction.
It's really hard.
Myocardial infarction. That's what it is.
But yeah, man. Basically, to combat that, though, it says that you should try to stay active at least 30 minutes a day. You know what I'm saying? We spend 30 minutes doing nothing, just staring at YouTube. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You can take 30 minutes of that 4 hours you're gonna spend looking on YouTube, going down a rabbit hole, just walking around and cleaning up, or just doing some jumping jacks or something like that, or whatever.
That same time spent in the kitchen frying foods.
Right. You get what I'm
That
saying?
same
And then
exact
we'll
time.
probably also talk about, if you have a job like my job, we kind of sit in cubes. So you're working probably 8 hours or whatever. What can you do to help, should you get up and stimulate yourself?
Right.
Is there any kind of exercises that you can do in your cube?
Yeah.
In my job, they actually have a gym in there, so you know, on your lunch or something, you may go and just walk on a treadmill, or if you take just 15 minutes, you can go and walk in there. But just talking about, you know, what kind of things you can do if you have a job that you sit down a lot.
All right.
So, you know, like I said, we're not gonna get too into it right now. We're gonna start something called the Clutch Diet, and basically it's a diet that sets a eating regimen. Looks like every 2 hours, you get what I'm saying? That basically gets your metabolism going and gets your body used to eating more and smaller portions. You get what I'm saying? Help speed up your metabolism from what I've heard and read. You get what I'm saying? And also includes eating more organic meats and fruits and vegetables and things of that nature. You get what I'm saying? And cutting out alcohol. I was just playing. Cutting out the alcohol and cutting out a lot of the stimulants that we're used to. You know, I drank at least 1 cup of coffee a day. You get what I'm saying? And plus, you know, a lot of people put, you know, processed sugars and stuff like that. So you know, we're trying to cut a lot of that stuff that we're addicted to. I think me and Aaron was just having a conversation about being addicted to
Sugar.
The sugar. You
Man.
get what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Addicted to
So
sugar, man.
you know, this is gonna be we're gonna use this to grow together. You get what I'm saying? We're gonna start this diet together, see if we can stick to it, stick to these better health practices, and we're gonna keep educating each other. You get what I'm saying? So if any y'all got anything to add to it?
No.
Pretty much that's it, man.
Cool. So look, man, on the couch
On
with
the
your man
couch.
Queres.
It's your boy Aaron.
Hey girl, Toshoama.
Yeah, man, we'll see y'all next week, man. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all make sure y'all hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what y'all think. What could we improve on? What could we talk about? You get what I'm saying? We'd love to hear from y'all. You get what I'm saying? On the couch at gmail.com also.
On the couch at gmail.com.
Peace.
Thank you.